Walking up the stairs, I'm walking up the railing. Walking up the stairs, I'm walking up the railing. It's Dungeon World, so when I roll a 6, I'm failing. Greetings, programs! Drunkens and Dragons here with another awesome episode. How to play D&D as best as you can. We have got a drinking review on our hands. So, you know what that means. I drink a ton and basically troll what is otherwise a totally awesome book. Tonight we're enjoying the King's Mead. The more you drink in any one gulp, the better it is. So if you sip it, it's a little weird. You get a honey lip going. It's not becoming of a king. But if you take a nice gulp, woo! That's warming. All right. Welcome to Drinkin' Review of Dungeon World. You guys should go pick this book up. All right, that's the short version. So TLDR, you guys, go buy Dungeon World. This is by Sage Kobold Productions. It's let me see what Eric is his name. Eric Kobold and Sage Latora, I think are the guys' names. These guys are cool, man. Not only they show the wherewithal to put the book out, they've gotten a lot around and they've got some awards, and I think in general people are stoked about this book. Should you spend your money on this book? Well, before I get into the review, please go on Amazon right now and order a copy of the book. Okay? You need to have this book. This is required reading for any good DM. Players, if you're not DMing, probably don't really need to confuse yourself with this book. This is, a system that is not going to help you out much with D&D. Go buy the book. Okay, I'm going to sit here and have a sip of mead while you log on to Amazon right now and buy a copy of Dungeon World, because these guys are awesome and they're indie. Go on Amazon and do it. I'll be right here. Fantasy scat. The elves are known for their legendary scat. Okay, and we're back. You just ordered a copy of Dungeon World from Amazon. Way to go. I'm sure they appreciate it. Is it a good book? Well, mixed review, kids. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the terrible. Okay, let's just get all the bad stuff out of the way. First of all, the cover artist is the best artist that they had work on the book. And I think he did maybe 2 pieces. There's one of an alchemist's lair that's really neat. Yeah, this one. Really great piece of art. But generally, this artist did barely anything for the book. The character art for the character classes and stuff is a little bit cringeworthy. I don't want to be too critical being an artist myself, but I could see how the artist that they used could be one of a team of artists to do the art for the book. But you guys, come on, seriously, for how good this book is and how much effort you put into it, better art, please. My God, I mean, these monster pages have nothing. It's a desert of text. You're killing my soul. Okay, let's move past that. Let's heal. Next up, what's really in the book? Well, most of the book, like a lot of RPG books, is kind of a source book. So you get a big listing of monsters, bit of a listing of spell listing, which D&D books, every single book you buy, half of it is spell lists. I don't know how that happened or why. So they do the same thing. But the first little portion of the book, which is probably about a 30-page portion, is how to play and character classes. They're characters and that have very little progression. You basically just kind of attain moves. Moves are just sort of like abilities. There's not a lot of detailed progression in the characters, but that's not a ding on this book. They don't want you to be calculating XP and going into in-depth to level up your character. They want a simple, fun tabletop game that's very GM dependent and very comical and really relies on people, I think, who have tons of experience playing tabletop. this book assumes all that stuff. So if you fit into that category, you are gonna freaking love this. There's almost no bookkeeping, almost no math. It's really fun, and you're just ripping through. If you play D&D for decades and decades, and you have all the tropes and all the fun stuff you want to do, and you just want to get drunk and have a good time, go buy Dungeon World. Oh shit. There's a lot of pages that are deserts of text. I think that's pretty damn bad. Let's get to the good stuff, and then we've got a final point. What the hell is this game system, you ask yourself, and I ask you. Oh boy, this is where they made their money. So cameraman, if you could move in a little closer, we're gonna just show you what the hell Dungeon World's all about. Right here I got my paladin. I mean, if you don't have a paladin, you're not doing a test scenario, right? And then I got my four-armed demon. What the fuck is this thing? It's all good, don't worry. It's here for the purpose of demonstrating evil. Okay, so I got my paladin and I got my demon. He runs up, and this is where we're gonna start rolling dice. It's just that simple. So I'm gonna give my demon, actually screw hit points, screw it all. All I wanna show you is the basics, and all you need is 2d6. Now, Dungeon World prescribes that you use polyhedral dice for damage. Their damage is class driven, which is crazy. You're like, I'm a bard and I have a double-bladed battle axe. Doesn't matter, you do bard damage. So that's a little bit of a what? Doesn't matter. Look, here's how you do it. I roll up, I'm gonna hack and slash this demon and send him back to hell, right? Basic stuff that you do in every game. Get your 2d6, boop. I got a 7. Ooh, not so good, that's a midline roll. Let's put that over there. Let me try again. I got a 6, even worse. Now I need a 10 plus. 9, 5. It's kind of fun rolling 2d6, and I think this is the foundation of their system. Like, you find yourself kind of loving rolling 2d6. It's a little more satisfying than rolling a d20. Woo! There's my 10. All right, you guys, I have just rolled every relevant roll in Dungeon World in the time that you just watched me. So, on the one hand, we've got a 10 plus. If I get a 10 plus, I roll up to this guy, I chop his hand off, and he doesn't even get to attack. It's that simple. That's a round. I do my damage, we move on with the combat. If I roll a 7 and 9, which is a mid-grade roll, I walk up to the guy, I do my damage, which, let's say it's 1d6. Okay, great, good job. But also, he grabs my sword, and we are locked in combat now, and there's no backing out. And his corrosive grasp starts vibrating and heating up my sword, and there's a chance he's going to corrode the sword into nothingness or light my arm in fire. Finally, I rolled a 6. A 6 or less is a failure in Dungeon World. And this means I roll up, not only does my attack fail and I do no damage, but let's say I were to roll, more like a 3, a real bomb roll on 2d6. Not only do I not attack him, that's kind of gets into crit fail territory where I lose the sword, it flips across the battle arena and lands over here somewhere. So I'm gonna have to use a turn to go grab it. That's it, you guys. That is the fundamental mechanic of Dungeon World. What is so magic about it, you ask? Well, this is what's crazy. In Dungeons and Dragons, you are fighting an ever-ascending curve of rolls, right? So you're rolling your d20 right here. Boop. Okay, hey, in the early days, I used to roll 14s and just kill shit. But now I'm level 6, and when I roll 14, it doesn't matter because I'm fighting a brass dragon, right? Now I need 16s to succeed. Now, you see, ascending difficulty is one of the absolute fundamentals of Dungeons and Dragons. In Dungeon World, there's no ascension. I could be level 8, and when I roll an 8, it's still an 8. I could be level 8, and when I roll an 11, that's still a big fat success. Wow, this is kind of awesome. I don't have to learn my character so much and freak out about compound derivative math all the time. You're like, shit, I'm gonna rapidly 2-day one overnight shipping on my Dungeon World book, and I'm gonna be playing this fucking tomorrow because I'm tired of rolling a bunch of. No, don't get that excited. Okay, now it's time to calm down. You made an incredibly powerful core rolling mechanic. By the way, I forgot one key piece. When I roll a failing roll, I mark down experience. This means you ever get that feeling where the first half of the night you're rolling shit? The best thing with Dungeon World is if your dice are shit, So I'm rolling 2d6 and I'm rolling like 3, 4, 5, right? I'm just rolling like garbage. You get an XP every time you fail. So it kind of makes failing kind of fun. And damn, Dungeon World, right? Fucking move. I salute you. All right. So what's the big doo-doo that I keep alluding to? Even though these guys are clearly super experienced RPG players, super experienced GMs, and in my opinion, fantastic writers and brilliant thinkers, they fucked up because they came up with an amazing original mechanic and an original way of thinking about RPG narrative that in my opinion is far superior to Dungeons and Dragons, and then they spent this much of their book rehashing monsters and tropes and conventions from Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, there's a fucking rust monster in here, for Christ's sake, with no detail. The rust monster is like it's practically a tray that you roll a rust monster over after you kill it, and there's a TM. Why would you come up with a brilliant original RPG game mechanic and then load it up with a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons tropes, monsters, and terminology, and make yourself look like you didn't quite have the idea power to fill the rest of the book? Why did you do that to me? If I want cool, detailed monsters, I got that coming out of my ears. Does this really impact the quality of the execution of the book? No, it doesn't. The fact that it gets a little fluffy and frosting-y and derivative, hey, okay, you know, I mean, maybe I can ignore that in their book the Kraken has 20 hit points. You know, maybe I can learn to live with that. I think that is deeply twisted. It's like criminal neglect to give the Kraken 20 hit points. Here's the thing. It does not affect the quality and the value of buying this book. Get the book! Seeing how they narrate player action and they loosen it up is brilliant. It's only brilliant within the much more advanced mathematical and progression framework of Dungeons and Dragons. I read an article by Sage Latora, I think it's on his blog, where he basically talks about why D&D 5th edition is great. His summary, his thesis, was that it's quite brilliant how they created a D&D game that's for an ever-widening audience. And I could not agree more with him. Dungeon World is an amazingly dope RPG system, but a lot of people who've been playing D&D for a long time will find it lacking in detail and will also be kind of missing some of their favorite things. You're not going to get detailed, magic item tables and, encounter tables and a lot of the detail around progression and the detail around skills. It's not a detail-oriented game. It's an action-oriented game, and it's a fun-oriented game. I mean, for crying out loud, they let you make a roll on go on a perilous journey. So I'll be like, hey GM, I'm gonna go on a perilous journey. Boom. Oh God, I rolled a 9. So even though I got where I was going, I lost a limb. That's Dungeon World right there, man. That's the resolution we're talking about. So look, there's gonna be ups and downs. I'm telling you, buy this book and learn why this is smart. You don't have to give up Dungeons and Dragons. It's not like you're buying the Satanic Bible. Buy Dungeon World and then bring some of that fun pacing into your D&D game with your players and see what they think. Make a mini game where they use this fun mechanic. Or add 2d6 rolls to spells is a great idea. So you got a guy who's casting magic missile all the time or casting fireball all the time and it's getting old. Put this condition on spell casting and chalk it up to the unpredictable nature of magic, right? So every time I cast a spell, oh God, there I roll a 3. So if that really happened, I'd give my guy 10 XP, or maybe 20 XP, because this fail XP mechanic can work in D&D. And I would have the spell backfire on it. Is this going to unbalance and make your D&D game crazy? Yeah, probably a little bit. But don't worry about it. Buy the damn book. I think I'm done. But just to make it a drink and review, let's just put down another skull. I think this was intended to be a shot glass, but this thing is it feels like about half a pint. So, here's to you, crew. Oh, woof. Wow. Man. Dungeon World. Go buy it. Strength, honor, and mead. Till next time, crew, keep it real and use your paladin to kill this thing if you ever see it. Take it easy. 4th edition was anime. Boosh! What the fuck is this Buster shit doing in my game? How do I... Oh god, okay. Oh yeah. I'm a goat. I think I'm playing Dungeon World. I know I'm playing Dungeon World because I feel weird and awesome. My name is Golden McFlurry Chest. So I'm gonna walk up, and I think the first thing I will do in the Dungeon World tradition is spout lore about this demon. Oh god, fucking 5. So not only do I not know anything impressive about him, I enrage him.
You clearly know nothing about me, Paladin.
Fuck. Hey, by the way, side note on Dungeon World, there is no initiative. Can you imagine the chaos? I'm gonna try to spout lore. There's a 9, so I know that his name is Balzabub Giezel Basil. You're an NPC. You don't get experience, bitch. But I think I made him mad. Oh! 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 11. So not only do I do my damage, oh! Which is maximum. Boo! You lose a dice, you little forearm freak show. He only rolls a 6. He fails. He's like, you're the paladin I heard about from that one town. You're him. Like, dude, I'm so not impressed right now. He walks up and swings the torch at me. Here's to you, Sage Kobold Productions. Ooh. Oh, how much fits in this thing? Seriously, it's like drinking a bucket of liquor. Oh. 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 Actually, that would make a great Nicki Minaj video. Is Tricera tops, 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 tops. My beard tastes like mead. If you sit down and drink a whole bottle of wine, you are a pansy compared to a person who sits and drinks this. There's a reason there's a picture of that funny man on there. I guess that's the king, but I don't know, I'm not impressed. Why does a king always have to be overweight? You know, why not make him like a Kyle Reese character? Or a Dolph Lundgren character. Oh boy. I wish this Triceratops would quit mocking me. Back, you heathen Triceratops. You can't really impugn a dinosaur on his lack of piousness. I mean, the same things that made Socrates commit suicide, you really couldn't levy those charges against a dinosaur. Oh, I'm Sean Connery in a loincloth. I think all this honey, it goes in your eyes. It's weird, and then you start snotting. Well, actually, having a good amount of snot, though, can be good for battle. And also for rowing a boat. The word boat can be difficult to say. All right. Here's to you. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Dungeons and Dragons. let's finish a skull of mead and call it good on Dungeon World. Whew. The bottom half of my face feels enormous.